welcome to my channel. You will be offended. I am Donnie, and this is the city of Nashingsen in the game of City Skylines. So welcome, and for many of you, this is your first time seeing Nashingsen not live. In fact, this be the first time I have put Nashingsen on YouTube without it being live. What I wanted to do today was come in here and give a tour of the city. I tried to do that during one of the live sessions, and you know, as much as it is fun to hang out with everybody, sometimes you forget what you're doing and you don't give the full tour of the city, and things just, you know, go into a nice long conversation about random trees or something. But so I wanted to come in and give everybody a tour of the city and just kind of show things off and let everybody see what's going on here. And in fact, as you can see, the sun is going down. I did that on purpose. I wanted to get some night shots as I came in here, and everybody could see this at nighttime and see all the cool buildings and the glowing and everything like that, because, well, I don't think I've ever turned on the day and night inside of the building scenarios while I've been live. So here we are. We're going to give a nice little wide out view of the city here. I'm trying to do this in slow motion as much as possible. I swear I'm trying. As you've seen in many of my videos, I've got a controller, and it's very easy for me to get around quickly in the cities and do different things. So, well, let's start off with where I started in the game. And that would be this lovely little neighborhood right in here. And as we get in closer, I'm going to go ahead and turn on, let me see here, I gotta click the button here, and turn on the names and everything like that, so we can see our districts, names of different areas, because there are some unique names here. I haven't named too many streets and roads like that. I'm not gonna, you know, zoom in on all those. In fact, I have to come in here and do some street naming because I've made some promises to do that, and I just have not done it yet. So that'll probably come up soon. But let's start here. This is Chestnut Hills. This was the very first neighborhood that I built when I built this city. I wanted to just kind of make it unique. I didn't really want too much. I didn't want the whole squared off look. But I also wanted to stay gridded, so I decided to go with these kind of odd grids, I guess. Just shaped it out a little bit differently, just so I could do a few things. I never actually started with that highway that you see right there. That was originally, in fact, when I built Chestnut Hills, I had to come in off the freeway here. And what I did is I built a giant roundabout, which was a very stupid idea, which went on a single road going that direction, and then I just stopped it on the other side of the freeway because I didn't go anywhere yet. And then I did a 6-lane road. Basically, it would have been right down the middle of the freeway right here. And the 6-lane road came down. There was a roundabout there. There was a roundabout there. There was a roundabout there. And there was a roundabout there. That roundabout's still there, and it works. But it was clogging up with traffic after the city started getting so big, so I had to change that. That'll be part of this later. We'll explain it. We'll kind of give a little bit of a backstory here. So as I built Chestnut Hills, you know, the highway, or not the highway, but the main 6-lane road was built that way, and then I started building these roads here. This I did grid out. I made these roads here. Let's see, we got Nashingsen Road. I guess I might have named that one. Then we have this other one here, Taylor Campbell Street. There, as you can see, as I get closer, we do have some lines for the buses, the electric buses right there. I wanted to add that, so I built those roads. I built them all in. I did build this big giant square first. So came in, built Chestnut Hills, and then after I got the housing and everything built there, of course I put in businesses on the outside, the hospital. I put in the large hospital because I knew I was going to, you know, start really working on this area. I came next to Chestnut Hills there and started building this neighborhood in. I wanted it to be identical because, well, I always intended to pull Chestnut Hills over there and then never did it. So kind of like at a real city when they're developing and planning and doing their stuff like that and they're making their districts. Sometimes they'll be like, oh yeah, we're going to make that district and it'll go over there, and then they never do it. And that district never becomes anything. And as you can see, I don't even have a district here. So one day I'll either extend one of these over or something. So after that, I built Oak District. Oak District, I kind of wanted to copy what I was going on in Chestnut Hills, except I wanted to stay square with with everything, and because I didn't stay square here. As you can see, actually, I should explain why Chestnut Hills and these other areas have the angled streets like that, and that's because of the roundabouts that I had in place there originally. They were meant to accommodate the roundabout. And so as you can see, as the city gets built, things like that get changed, and well, original roads stay there in some places and the new roads are totally different. So I came in and built a park kind of area, but in little, walking areas, trees, obviously a huge greenway between all the houses and everything. I made it basically like a city would come in and like, okay, well, we're going to build a freeway here and the people don't want to sell their houses here, so we're just going to put in trees. And if I had the ability to do mods, I would have probably put in walls and such, just to try and keep it way more realistic. As you can see, as I get down here, actually I got this on like high speed. Let's slow this down. I like it better on regular 1 speed like this. So as you can see down here, I was able to connect the trails finally, and then there's other areas. I don't think I did it here, but there are some other areas I believe I tried connecting trails like up here. Oh no, it's just the road. I was gonna try to and I never did it. So anyway, let's go on. Oak District, Walnut District. I don't know why I changed my whole plan there. I think I was planning on actually making Walnut District my first area of city, and I never did it. The idea was to build using the high density building, but then keeping it in, where there's no high rises allowed and stuff like that. And then I don't know what happened. I don't really remember. I think I just started placing housing down, wasn't really thinking about it, placed the businesses down, and then I started building Thornton Heights here. And Thornton Heights, as you can see, it actually was all built with the, I guess you could say London themed housing and stuff like that. I wanted to see what would happen and everything like that, so I just kind of built it. It's like the only place in the entire city that has any type of, London theming to it at all. So, yeah, again, this was supposed to be I'm not sure what to call it, but just a way to ease into the city from the suburbs here. So they were these were the buildings that were, kept from building entirely as tall as they can and everything like that. And that's where it steps onto that. So yeah, Walnut District was originally intended to be, kind of basically a mid-housing, a mid-rise housing district, and it never did that. So it went straight into high-rises from there, Ivy Hills, and then we built Ivy Hills, Pleasant Heights. I believe it was Pleasant Heights. No. Pleasant Heights is next. So we built Ivy Hills, and again, I wanted the high density there. So then I came into the Farquaad's University of Common Knowledge, and on Farquaad's University of Common Knowledge, I also incorporated the city into the college. So you can see there's high-rise housing there. There are businesses inside of there. On this side of the highway is more Farquaad's University, where we have the police school. We have the, what else is there? I forget what's in this university package. I'm just really not thinking about it. So anyway, Farquaad's University of Common Knowledge. Like I said, I just kind of built in. I did this little area here with the fountains and the statues and stuff like that. just kind of also centered of the city, you know, where people, or not city, but, you know, the housing and stuff in this area too. So all these people have the ability to enjoy themselves, and, you know, if they're not part of the college, but they can still go down there and enjoy themselves and stuff like that. So I'm going to back out, get away from some of that noise. I mean, that was my idea. Where I live, where I've been to places like that, universities are always, you know, kind of integrated into the city. And I've said that in my other builds, and that's just the way I like to build it. So, Farquaad's University also was able to obtain the property next door. It was uneven, but we were able to work with it and put in our sports fields, our football field, our baseball, our track and field there. Then we have our basketball over here. I believe we were able to get the swimming in. Yes, over here. So we got all of our sports put in. And when we did that, what I did was I made the whole area just kind of a business park in any of the extra, you know, squares and stuff like that. So that they could build hotels, restaurants, things like that. So it could be more of a place where people traveling into town to see the team on Farquaad's University could stay. I mean, they'd have a hotel to stay at. There's subway lines that come in. There's a helicopter route, I believe, that is nearby. I think it is right here somewhere. Right. I don't know. There's a helicopter route in there. You just saw the helicopter. So after we built that, we needed to build more housing. So Linden Heights came in. That was just a nice area with housing. But one problem I have here, as I was building Linden Heights, there was the train track through here. This was original to the whole map. I didn't want to change too much of that. So what I did was I put a ton of trees in here, kind of made like a small greenway between the buildings and the train track. Now, the train tracks don't really provide a lot of noise pollution to the citizens, so it works out that trains go through here. Excuse me, I needed some coffee. Especially because over here, I do have, I'll show you real quick, I do have a train station set up. I didn't get that set up until way late. Oh, look, the team won. So, but, you know, I was planning on there being, you know, a train station for people to get in and out of the city with, and so it's part of the reason I built around it. One of the biggest problems I have, and I turned it off for now, is fire spreads through here like crazy. So this is a warning. If you ever build an area like this where there's a train track and housing and you throw trees galore in there, like you can see I went really, really thick with the trees. Oh my gosh, this noise is just really loud right now. I gotta do something about this. Yeah, I was gonna go to that. Oh my goodness. Slightly better. Okay. Oh, a little better. Okay, anyway. So, if you ever build something like this where you just throw a ton of trees in there, you make a really nice greenway and stuff, you're trying to make it realistic, be careful. Fire can spread through here massive, like just quickly, and it will catch every single building on its way through. It'll get out the school, the buildings, the park right here. You see this? Look at here is previous damage. I had trees all through here. They just caught the trees. It chased over this way, started catching the trees through here. These buildings. Yeah, it gets very, very bad. So I'm going to have to do something about it in the future. The fire, that's why I have fire all over the place right here, because it's just, it gets so bad. So anyway, Linden Heights was built. This is, you know, all city, some business. There's a few offices in there. You can see there's some IT offices and such. And that was to give, you know, more homes and stuff next to Farquaad's University. And at the same time, I started getting into mining for oil over here. I wanted to be able to get people close to Highland Hills because I started building 710 Oil Industries about that time. Now, this giant building here, the train The trains weren't going in and out right there at all yet. I just originally started off with some roads through here, some basic mapping. In fact, this I changed way on in the future because I wanted to add in the big refinery there. But all this was started with 710 Oil Industries right here, just these couple of roads, and you know, some power generators and stuff like that. And then from there, I just started kind of building out as I needed more industry. So that also led to me needing to add in bus lines, trash. I needed more power at a certain point, so I added in just one of these solar things at that point. Now I've got unlimited power, as you can see. But then at that same time, there was also forestry going on, and so to keep up with if you haven't seen some of the backstories, whatever, any of the older episodes for Nashingsen, Sir Hopkins International Theater Park here, it actually used to be morning was Smokey's, used to be Smokey's Tree Farm over here. And this was a forestry industry originally, just away from the oil industry. And then as the oil industry started growing, I needed to move the forestry industry away, and that's where Sir Hopkins International Theater Park came into play. I'm not building any more oil industry over here. Obviously, it is polluted enough. We're done here. And that's where we're going to keep that. I mean, cities have areas where they pollute. Especially when there's oil to be found and they can go at it. This is a map that has all the cheats on, so of course they can just suck oil. Unlike our real life where, you know, they tap in and they actually run out of oil, so they need to be careful. And yes, we as humans definitely need to be more careful ourselves. And I mean, yeah, I've actually started looking at the hybrid cars. I love diesel. I have a Volkswagen Jetta that's a little diesel, and that thing, I can drive from Oregon to Las Vegas on a tank and a half of gas. It's very expensive for me right now because gas is costing me over $5 a gallon. But yeah, I can still get pretty darn far on that gas. So just needed a little sip there. So let's see what came next. So I started building 710 Oil Industries. That necessitated their needing housing here, so we started building the housing and everything at the same time. There's a plane in my ear. As we were building that, I actually was working on adding in these little buildings and such like that. Like I did again have a lot of stuff opened up, so I started adding in, you know, like this. Let's go to my tool here so I can see what certain buildings are. There's the Grand Library. So that came way later. Actually, I forget what I had there originally. Oh, I had a park there, like in Chestnut Hills. Now that it's daytime, let's do this. Let's go options, gameplay. We're gonna go down and turn off the day-night cycle, so I can go through this properly with you guys. So here we are at Chestnut Hills again, and you can see the little park, the walkway. I added in some rocks and trees. It just kind of had some fun with it. That was also over here until I added in this library. But you know, all these buildings that I added in later on, I kind of planned for them at that point. Beforehand, I wanted them to be there. I had ideas. Some things changed. A lot of things do change. A lot of you, if you play this game, you understand that. So, especially like this area here where the train station is. This was never originally intended to look like this. I actually was going to turn this all into housing over here, and that did not happen. Pleasant Heights came way later too. So let's see, what did I build? Nope, not Sir Hopkins yet. Okay, so at one point I wanted to build the airport. I started the city because of the airport's DLC. If you've been to my other city, Rockdale. Oh my gosh, I can't believe didn't remember my other city's name. So if you've been to Rockdale, I've previously built a nice airport there and stuff like that. I had some plans for it there, but that city had been so far in building that I decided to come here and do this airport because I was already, showing this off on YouTube at that point. So I built the airport, The airport went through many different changes. One thing that stayed the same on it was my design right here with the way the entrance comes into the airport. I wanted this road to follow the highway here. That has stayed the same. This road along the map guide there has stayed the same since the beginning. Now coming out of Crescent Park, this area has changed so much, and this nightmare right here, you know what? Just because I know it would... Oh my gosh, okay, I gotta do something here. So it's... Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna do it another time. So I'm thinking, I'll just say it right now, I'm thinking about naming this monstrosity of a bridge Gnashingson Overpass. Because he would just be horrified by that thing. He's another YouTuber. He's a great YouTuber. I'll throw the link below. I probably made his little logo flash across the screen right there in editing. So, Gnashingson Overpass. This will become Gnashingson Overpass. In fact, because I can do this, and I don't forget. And this whole thing, I'm going to have to change like a lot here. And you don't see what I'm doing on screen right now because I have PlayStation on right now and it's letting me change all this and you can't see it. It's an over. I guess we'll just stick with bridge. We'll just stick with bridge on this because I'm not sure overpass is the right name for this thing. We'll ask him if he ever gets a chance to see it. There. Oh, it did change the whole thing. Sweet, sweet. The whole thing says Gnashingson Bridge. Okay, so let's get back out of there. So as you come up to Gnashingson Bridge there, that was all changed. In fact, this Fawn Hills area has changed slightly, but I'll go over that in a moment. So the front here wanted it to stay like this. I got my inspiration from looking at a couple of different airports and noticing that the air traffic control tower doesn't sit like out here anywhere. A few of the nicer airports like LAX and such, their air traffic control towers were away from the runways, and like this, you know, some of them, I believe LAX had it like in the area like this where you would be driving into the airport for drop off and pickup. If I had the ability to add, you know, parking lots and things like that, this whole area would be parking, and I'd have a few other buildings in here and such. So I do have my headquarters for my Linden Airlines here. Then just because I could do it, I added some of these little things. They're not useful at all, obviously. They're just there for looks. So, now I purposely added the runway over here and kept the buildings, the high-rise buildings, from being in the way of the runway. Same thing on this side with this cargo airport. I made sure that there was a good distance between it and the high-rise buildings there. So that was slightly off. But that was, you know, kind of my plan. I wanted to make sure things like that weren't in the way, try to stay as realistic as possible. As you can see, I have a little bit of plane backlog here, but it's not that bad. The first time I built this airport, it was absolutely terrible. It just had planes sitting on top of planes and planes and planes and planes. The cargo airport was connected into all of these air roads, the plane roads, I forget what they're called. Yeah, it was all just one big mess, and this is where I got the idea to split these and keep them separate so that the planes were not, you know, in each other's way. They were all just trying to go to all the, you know, it was not working. So I had to separate them. You could go back on the episode, see all that yourself. I decided to make a little bit of just some prettiness out here, I guess. So I added this cool rock. And a little bit of these bushes and such just to make it look pretty out here for the people looking out of the what is that, little just lounge area, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, the airport, as that got built, obviously Crescent Park was built here. Then I built Dillendo Air Meadows, I'm not 100% sure how that process took, but you know, I know the park came at some point. But Crescent Park, Air Meadows there, I'm not sure. I don't remember when I built that. I don't remember if it was after I started adding in the trains and such over here or before, but the town did experience a meteor crash in this area, so that's why this is built here. I wanted to see what it looked like when I built this. I hadn't used the disasters yet, so prior to me putting the airport in, I just crashed a meteor over here because I knew I was going to level out the land anyway. So let's see. Because the airport was getting built here, then I had to build Middle Hills. So Middle Hills started off with just this neighborhood here, some businesses, obviously a lot of homes. I went with the nicer, you know, I think not self-sufficient. What am I trying to think of here? Well, I went with like the university housing or something like that. I started playing around with the options for the housing and other things just so I could, you know, change things up. A lot of neighborhoods are not always going to be identical to each other across the thing, and so I needed to make sure that the neighborhoods had, you know, like a different development company came in here than one that came in over here. So that's just the way I was looking at it. So I built Middle Hills, and I extended it out here to this little second section here at the time because housing filled in like, you know, super fast, and I needed more housing, so I built the rest of Middle Hills here right after that. And then because I built that, you know, as I'm building, I'll throw my roads down and start trying to think, you know, my main roads here, like the boulevards, the 6 lanes, the 4 lanes and such. I'll throw them down and I'll get them laid out, and then I'll come in later on and I'll start building my different districts and neighborhoods and such like that. So all these were laid down just so people could get to the airport at the time. There was a whole different connection there. And then, you know, like I said, as I needed different districts to be put in, then I would add them. So after Middle Hills, then we built Elizabeth Park. We started putting in some businesses along here. Mulberry District came way, way later in the game. That was actually probably one of my last videos, live videos for that one. Obviously, again, I have another spot that I didn't give a district to. I wanted to bring this city area up along the coast here so I could have the ships coming in and such like that, the harbor and all that. I wanted to build a zoo, so what I did at Daffodil here was I put the high-rise ban in and then put the high-density housing so that it would switch from, you know, having the nice neighborhood like this going into, you know, mid-housing, the mid-rise housing into the high-rises across the freeway here. This freeway I built also. At the time of putting in the airport there, this was super, super heavy with traffic. I had a regular road that came through here, and then it connected into, I believe, this road right here because of oh, no. It actually connected in right here. This regular road came up, it connected into this roundabout, then it came up. So all my roads were just getting backed up. My original road plans, I wish I could show some of them to you. They were pretty nice at the time, but it's actually what led me to build the freeway and the highway and everything like that. So this was getting all backed up because I had, you know, obviously the cargo airport built over here at the time. So I had to build the freeway. It ends right here so that, you know, it turns right back into what the original road plan was. And then I built Hidden Hills a little bit later on just so some people had a nice little area here. It's actually kind of like my idea of a gated community for this. I did a much better gated community, I believe, in Santa Vegas, so I would recommend checking out Santa Vegas if you haven't seen any of the videos there. And I'll make sure to put the link either up in the corner or down below to go see Santa Vegas. I'm sure that at this point in my editing I made a quick Santa Vegas postcard, come visit, pass by or something like that. So yeah, Hidden Hill was my first attempt at a gated community. It was a nice one, and it works out really nice. It's a quiet area. It's away from the, you know, all the other stuff, the noisy stuff over here, just enough. But it's also close enough that, like, say you're the foreman over here at Three Hookers Fishing, or you're the foreman in 710 Oil Industries or something like that, the owner, for instance, this is the neighborhood you would live in here. In fact, you know, having one of these nice houses right here. Well, wow, these I did not see. This is, wow, I don't know what world happened here. Maybe reloading did something, because this was all flat at one point, like this. Anyway, so, you know, this would be like one of the owner's houses or the foreman's houses or something like that. So let's stop letting that bounce around. Let's get back into this tour here. So Daffodil was built because I wanted to build Broad Park, Smith Square, this whole area basically. So I laid down my main roads, my 4 lanes, my 6 lanes, not over here at Thornton Hills. That was all later on. Only roads I built were these 3 4-lane roads, and then the 6-lane road going through here. And this was, I believe, a 4-lane or a 6-lane at one time, going along the train tracks that changed because of the whole freeway there. So maybe not. But so this got built. Like I said, I was getting all the traffic, so I built the freeway. Then I started building in Luffy Park here, which is my zoo. And then later on I added in this aquarium here, just because I thought this would probably be like the perfect spot for it. I did have to buy some land back from Luffy Park to add this bypass in. I don't really need it now, but at the time it was necessary because it was really backing up. There was, you know, the stoplight up here. Valley Lad's gonna hate this, and since I mentioned his name, I'll throw some Valley Lad links down there too. Valley Lad Gaming, he's another great YouTube content maker. In fact, he likes to go live on Saturdays, I believe, and Sundays, something like that. He does lives and stuff like that as well, so definitely check him out. So let's see. Yeah, I had to build this bypass because the lights were stopping everybody. There was just so much. And as you can see, Valley Lad would tell me to come in here and fix my intersections. In fact, none of these are turned on. Oh, this one is. Let's just turn that stop sign off. So this one, I guess I could turn off. But yeah, this will make Valley Lad a little happy right there. So yeah, I had to put the bypass in because traffic was freaking terrible, and that helped because I had the harbor put in and stuff like that. And I started building Ivy District first, actually. I did not build Smith Square because I actually put the bus station, I believe that's the bus station right there, yes. I put the bus station in, but I didn't build anything else. I just started building Ivy District because I wanted to put in Central Park. So I put that in, I started building around it, started putting in businesses and stuff. And then as that happened, that's when I started putting in Briarwood District, Smith Square, extending off of the harbor here and building, you know, more area for people to kind of hang out and play around. I really wish I had the Move It mod and such, because then I could fix, you know, problems like this, where I could take that and sink it down to where it's actually working properly. Watch this person. Did you see him? Did you see this? They disappear. Let's see if anybody does it. Watch this guy. He just disappeared into the concrete, and now they all just disappeared into the concrete. They'll show back up somewhere. I don't know. Maybe Larry Skylines can figure it out. Oh, there they go. Oh, and then they just disappeared back into the concrete again to go down there. Wow. Anyway, I really wish I could fix some of these things. So anyway, let's pull back out. Briarwood District, all that all started growing. You know, needing businesses, needing some offices, things like that. Then from there, I did not build Thornton Hills yet. Actually, that's when I came back over here and I built Pleasant Heights. I believe it's really hard for me to remember how I built these things in order, because it was really, you know, if I went back through my old videos, I'm pretty sure I could remember it all. I'm just trying to give you guys a tour off the top of my head, and hopefully I'm doing justice. So I think after that is when I built Pleasant Heights, because I built the freeway through here. I needed to change up roads, and I had, after the road changes and stuff like that, I wanted to add in, you know, like this was some more industry stuff here that I built, warehouses. I think this is a furniture factory, things like that. I hadn't changed this from Smokies yet. Later on, there's actually a video, if you go look for it, Smokies burnt down. There was a huge fire, and I decided to use that as an excuse. Obviously, if the fire goes through there, it's gonna grow back, but I decided to use that as an excuse that Smokey, I created a story that Smokey took his check, he came over here, he bought Morningwood Farms, or at least, I forget whether he bought it or he became a partner, but then they became Smokies and Morningwood's Forestry and the S&M Tree Farms here, so... which, you know, Morningwood Tree Farms, I believe, I forget when I built that, but, you know, it was well after Smokies, so that's going to be a little bit later on. Here, we'll get to, I've got, 20 minutes left, around 20 minutes or so left, so we're going to try and go through this a little bit faster now. So Pleasant Heights was built. I've kind of went through all this. These all kind of grew as time came on. I definitely built this cargo hub over here. Oh, look at that, the ship is almost done. That's so cool. So I built this cargo hub over here because of the oil industry, and then I started putting in the car builder, the car manufacturer. There's actually the electric car manufacturer as well. Because of all the growth over here, that's when I added in, you know, some more train stations, some more office buildings, things like that. Obviously, that's when I started adding in my train station over here for people to come in and out of the city. There's a bypass for the regular trains to get through there. I always try to do that when I'm building train stations. If a train doesn't want to stop at the station, there should always be a bypass for them. Now, I found out later on that this train track automatically has a bypass in it if it wants. That's why this has the outside things, but I didn't care. I like it this way. It looks good. And plus, you know, getting to build the trees. This is something I went on with this one because I had the ability to. I put in a lot of trees. I put in a lot of walkways and parks and things like that, and just wanted to kind of let my imagination go with that and have some fun with it. So, because of the traffic that started building up due to the city down here that I was just telling you about, I built the bypass and everything like that. I felt that, you know, all these roundabouts were just getting backed up. This thing was just looking terrible. So that's why I tore everything out. I paused the town. You can actually, I believe you can go back and see the video of that happening. And I tore this all out. I rebuilt this long before then, actually. This is what I call my Angry Owl Interchange. I got this idea from another channel, and I can't remember what that guy's name was. He's a real civil engineer, I believe. So yeah, that was where I got the idea from. It was a different game that he was playing altogether, in fact, and not even this game. So anyway, then I took it and I built this all the way down. I added in the on-ramps, off-ramps. I tried to utilize the areas as best as possible, trying to think about what I wanted to use the areas for, having any current housing in there, and the walkways and stuff like that. So then down here, in fact, I threw in this little Japanese garden just because, you know, it needed something there. And voila, there we go. Walkways, everything else. So this all worked out pretty nice, actually. It really helped the traffic come through there really perfectly. And yeah, in fact, what was really cool was, I don't know where Mason Bridge came from, but we had Earl Bridge. Where did Mason, something changed in my game, and it changed the name of this to Mason. This was not Mason. That's so strange. I must have added a road at some point or something that did that. No, oops, I did not do that properly. Okay, I'm trying to fix the name. You guys can't see what I got going on. Ah, I did it again. I keep pushing the wrong button. I'm very sorry. Greyr2. So Gray Bridge, which should lead to Gray. Why is that all Gray Bridge now? Earl Bridge, Earl Highway, Gray. Wow, I hate to do this to you. You know what? It says Gray right now. I can come back later on and fix this. Anyway, what happened was this was Gray Highway and Gray Bridge, and Earl Highway and Earl Bridge, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's Earl Gray. So I named this the Tea Exchange and Biffa Bridge in honor of Biffa, because he always likes to drink his tea, and I love watching his channel. So that's what happened there. Anyway, I don't know why that changed the names at all. I've no idea. So anyway, that started really helping out my traffic. Not entirely. And then I started building on up here. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to say to go back to my videos, because I am forgetting when certain things happened. I know that I came up here and I started building my ore industry. I did not build Morningwood Tree Farms prior to the ore industry, so that was after. I started building this little rural area through here with dirt roads and such, because I wanted it to, be that style. Green Acres is the oldest area here. I built this originally when I built Linden Heights, and Green Acres is, that's why they got upgraded to regular roads through there, because I have some businesses through there and stuff now. It's kind of like, think of your old, like if you're traveling and you go through a small town that's on a highway and you see the businesses on the highway and stuff like that. It's kind of that type of area. That's what I think of this. Going through here, Valley Heights, Pine Park, Anchor Park. You're right off of both of the freeways here. This was an original freeway. This was an original freeway. This was all the added on stuff and everything like that. So, they're the rural guys that have they have a nice spot, next to the river, so they can go fishing. But they got to get on that freeway, that noisy freeway, so they can get to their job. And because their job is going to be, if it's not here, it's going to be a very far distance away. So, but we do across the river have farming, a lot of farming. In fact, lots and lots of farming. But I did take that and I changed some things around. You can check out the videos on those, definitely. And I made a lot of new neighborhoods through here. I wanted to make it nice, upgraded it, added a lot of trees. I haven't gone through and added in my walkways and parks yet, like I was thinking about doing, just because I haven't 100% figured out what I wanted to do with this area yet. So I know I'm going to build, like, probably, obviously, children's parks and things like that in there, but having vanilla assets, it's pretty hard to really do a lot. But I have been figuring out some cool tricks lately, so we'll see what I can do with this later on in the future. In fact, it's starting to make me think that there are some things I can continue to do live videos with Nashingsen on. In fact, I have this whole blank area back here that I could do a little forestry section with or something, so who knows. Hickory District, I don't know why the buildings got so big. I believe I threw in the high-rise ban, but maybe because they're green buildings or something like that, they ignored that. I don't know. I have no idea. Well, despite that, oh well, I guess I can't do much about it right now. I'll have to figure it out later. I built Summit Heights, Cypress District, Wood Heights, everything like that. I'll explain Wood Heights in a minute. This I wanted to really, I wanted the opposite of what I built here. This was my rural area with dirt roads and everything like that. The person who's got to work 9 to 5, or actually in my case, you get to work at 7 and you work until about 3:30ish, or later, depending on the job. And you get out of there, That's kind of what this whole area is. But this area is for the blue collar, the city worker, the person who's gonna get on the freeway, travel into the city to work, go to the offices. A couple of the people that live in Wood Heights would be more of the farming district and stuff like that, working in the farming district. But that's what my imagination was Summit Heights. These people that they bought the land because it's right there on the river. It's, you know, they had it paved and made in nice. There's all the trees. I landscaped it. Haven't quite put in, like, this area was supposed to be a little park and everything. I haven't done that yet. But as you can see, I actually added walkways. Why is there dead trees there? I added walkways along the water and then into the water because I wanted people to actually, like, look like they were swimming and walking on the beach and stuff like that, because people never walk on the beach, and I figured that was the best way to do it. I used the dirt path. See, look at, now I got someone walking on the beach. So I used the dirt paths for that, and it works out pretty decent for that. I'm going vanilla. So yeah, you know, this Cypress District extended over that way, basically, going around Heather Square there. Heather Square actually was built originally long before anything in this area was built, just because I needed a farming district. So I started off with Jolly Green Giant Farms there. Broad Farming used to be over there by where the airport was, and I had wanted to put the airport in, so I sold Broad Farming and let it come over here, type of thing. You know, a little story like that. Then I had some problems with pollution. That was in one of the live videos. I'm sure you could go back and find that. That was, oh my gosh, that was embarrassing, to be honest. I built Amity District was a whole add-on there. Like, I did that, you know, made some nice housing and everything in there. After I built this dirt road area here, and this dirt road area actually went through Hickory District. That was all dirt roads and everything originally. Wood Heights was originally all dirt roads and everything, and there was nothing there. I was trying to open up some stuff and unlock it, so I just built farms all through there so I could unlock the thing over here in the unique buildings for it. And then after it did that, after I unlocked it, then I came through. I started just adding in neighborhoods, parks, just getting that ready for me to come through and kind of, you know, like as you can see, the housing in between, there's open areas. I was going to put in walkways and parks and stuff like that. One of the things I like to do, actually, I could show you where is a nice little area I've done that. I like to add in spots where, did I do it on this one? Oh, I can't remember why I was doing it. But, oh, I know there's a good spot I just did not too long ago. Oh, yes, you saw those names. So you see, like, this little area. I like to build areas like this where there's little tables, benches, and stuff like that. Not even necessarily spots with kids parks and stuff like that in it. You'll see some stuff in a moment here. Yeah, so eventually that's what's going to happen over here in Wood Heights and everything like that. Stafford Lake, Stafford Park, this was all built originally, and then I started kind of adding on to it and adjusting the area, making it fit for Amity District, or making it fit to come over here for Heather Square and work with these different buildings and stuff like that. I'm not sure how much of that got put into the videos, my live feeds, but it's definitely worth checking out, seeing what I did build over here, like the train station. I think Stafford Park might have been in a live video, so. I know I'm not going in order anymore with how I built the city, because I've only got like 10 minutes left, and I'm going to try to finish this up really quick now, because I've got a couple of things over here to show off. So one of the last things I was doing in my videos was I built this Shrek-themed area with Far, Far Away, Farquaad's Castle, a lot of things like Duloc National Forest. This is Shrek's swamp area. Some of the names aren't popping up. Duloc Foothills and stuff like that. So you can see I was going with the Shrek theme over here as far as the names. I had some fun with that. Like, these have like some other names to them and stuff. If I go click on them, the Maximus Observatory, the Thelonious Climate Research Station. So these are all, named after different things, and I had some fun with that. It's like the town of Far, Far Away over here and everything. So also, I built this nice little park. I built the whole area is actually, obviously a national forest, but I built this little park area over here for camping. There's little campgrounds and stuff in here, tents, little areas to just hang out with the family. I put this is the lungs of the city, one of the unique buildings. I used it over here, and I thought it fit in way better. That's when I started adding in all of the bigger trees and everything to this area. I did have to do some adjustments to add in the castle and do stuff like that. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. Then I added in Wood Park, Duloc Hill, Foothills, and Ivy Park after that. And then one of the very last things I did was, as a thank you to, and of course these are all going to have, they'll probably have little things, their logos will pop across the screen right now or something, or their links will definitely be below. And for the last couple minutes here, this is what I'll explain. Yeah, these people, all these people right here are just awesome people. These are other creators, and I'll explain all the names here in just a second. I've done it in my live video. These are all creators that, well, they are the kind of like an inspiration for me to keep going. The reason I started, or I continued making these videos, I was making live videos, just seeing what happened, and they jumped in, they started chatting, they started following and subscribing and doing all that stuff, and it was really awesome. I had a lot of, fun talking to them, and then they popped in on my next live, and then I started popping in on their lives, and they're, checking out their videos and stuff, and through that, it's helped me to gain a little more of an audience. I've gained more knowledge. I've gained a couple of cool online friends and things like that. So we'll start off with how I started off in, let's see if I can't get these names to all sit so you could read them. But it looks like that electrical espionage. So we'll just get close. So I started off with Park A Zukaboa. Zukaboa is a really talented creator, and I don't think he has anything coming out right this moment because he's busy with work. I believe he's on a boat, and but this is where I started. I kind of built this nice little park through here. I added in from the theme parks because you can actually use stuff out of your parks pack in your regular parks. So anyway, I put this in just for fun because I figured why not have that right there looking at the airport. Then I came along, I added in like the rock climbing, some kids playground equipment. I wanted to make sure the kids and everybody were safe, so I doubled up I made sure to use the walled roads through here, and then I added on the fencing along the whole side there for the park. Lots of pathways through here, areas for kids to sit and play, people to sit and take a picnic, anything like that, whatever your heart desires. There's bathrooms, lots and lots of areas to just sit down and do whatever you want. Play frisbee. I wish I could add frisbee golf in here. That would be so sweet if I could do that. Again, I wish I had move it so I could fix things like this. Then I added in this cool little trampoline park up here. Made sure there was a couple entrances and exits for the place. Then second, I built the Grottle School of Cities Architecture. And what I did is I used vanilla assets for this. Instead of doing like a university build, I just decided to try to build this using vanilla assets. Kind of as a, because she builds vanilla stuff too. That's really the reason why. It's like an homage, I guess. So I wanted to use the vanilla assets in here to build the Grottle School of Cities Architecture. So I made it a district to give it the name, and then I took the schools themselves, changed the names over. This is just a university. This is the high school. And I don't think I added an elementary, and that would look kind of funny, I think. But then I put in like a little basketball court over here. I thought I had a swimming pool, but maybe I took it out when I built. No, I didn't do that over here. But I built like, a little area here with the, a little eating thing, the spot to sit and eat. Just an area to walk through and sit and contemplate, do your homework, sit with friends. The way a small school would be set up. There's a little statue to commemorate the school or whatever. Plenty of areas to walk through. Then I how I do it. I like to add in like housing and some businesses and stuff like that. Oh, that's right. I added these in, the faculty buildings. So there's faculty buildings for the school. Then there's a couple of houses in here and stuff just to kind of add on and make things look nice. So then after I built that, I actually previously had built this station here for electrical, the solar station, on the advice of Valley Lad Gaming. Again, you can see the little thing run across the screen there. And so what I did was I took that. This is actually the Valley Lad and Company Magic Mirror Solar Energy. So he told me to name it the Magic Mirror because we were going with the Shrek theme there. And so I left it Magic Mirror, but it's part of the Valley Lad and Company Magic Mirror Solar Energy Company now. And which is all part of the Valley Lad Electrical Engineering and R&D. And as you can see, these names were added in using districting and stuff like that. So this is like office buildings that got added in, and a faculty building on the side, just because it looked good. It fit in with the design there. But, you know, some office buildings. And then their little faculty park back here, business, you know, whatever, just kind of for people working at Valley Lad Electrical. They can come over here, have their lunch, sit and talk, have a meeting, things like that. So that's what this whole area was built for them. So then after that, I came over here and I built the Raid Kitty Cyber Intelligence and Espionage. And that includes our helicopter pad right here, our Robotics Institute, our intelligence agency, and this here is actually a front. It says the law, accounting, and itsy bitsy critter, but that's the front for the cyber intelligence and espionage. That way they can go through. I got to make sure that that's a historical building because I didn't want that to change. So that way they have their vans that they can go and pull up on somebody's house. Like, so anytime you see the itsy bitsy critter van anywhere, they're actually spying on someone. It all belongs to the Raid Kitty Cyber Intelligence and Espionage business. So, let's see. After I built that, then I came back here and I built the Joy Builds Construction and Arboriculture area. So, I wanted it to be a construction business, more or less. So that's because of the Joy Builds. This is Joy Builds Construction Arboriculture. So as I built it, again, I'm going to put everybody's logos and links below. Don't worry. You can find every single one of these creators. They are all incredible. Since this was a construction site, I wanted to put in like this here where it has all of the, or not really a construction site, a construction business. I wanted to make sure I had all of the, the materials, I guess, for Joy Builds Cities. I mean, Joy Builds Construction Cities Joy Builds Cities is her actual YouTube channel, just so you know. I don't think I said that yet, in fact, I'm sorry. But Joy Builds Construction. So all the materials will be over here. There's the materials coordination shed. There's a guy that sits in there and signs everything in and out. This is where they store their wood for their raw materials because they make everything themselves. They have their mill over here, and they have a mill over here, and then they have a couple of office buildings, another mill, and that way they can reduce the costs. They're able to pay their employees more, and they actually help the area out because of being arboriculturists. They grow trees, they plant trees in the area, and they do take jobs with all the local people that own houses, and they come in and they take care of their trees and stuff like that as well. So that is Joy Builds Construction and Arboriculture from the Joy Build Cities channel. Raid Kitty's a channel, Valley Lad Gaming channel, Grottle's channel, Zukaboa is a channel. So Zukaboa Gaming, actually, I think is who his channel is. It'll be in the link, trust me. So, and then last but not least at all is the Sunken Ship Enterprises. Oops, there's my timer. So I have to end right now. This is the Sunken Ship Enterprises Urban Housing Development, and they work in conjunction with Joy Builds Construction over there to build housing and development in all the different areas. And this here was built to help people with low income have a nice house in a nice area. So thanks to Sunken Ship, thanks to Raid Kitty, thanks to Joy Builds Cities, thanks to Grottles, thanks to Valley Lad, and thanks to Zukaboa for being some really cool subscribers and other creators. So at that, I'm going to say goodbye, and I'm going to leave you with a nice view of the city, because I need to end this video before my PlayStation cuts me off. So you guys have a wonderful day, and come back for more.